I've got a bone to pick with you. What is cooking, everyone? Welcome to Exercise Habits. My name is Victor. Glad that you're here with me today. And to start off the rehab series, we are talking about this, our lower back. That was pretty cool. This right here, it is so stiff. So we're gonna smash open this stiffness and we're gonna get the mobility you need to actually live your life. But before I get into the video, if you're new to this channel and you want some health information, some lifestyle information, and some injury information, this channel is gonna be for you. So please hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't done so already, please support me on my Facebook page. I'll pop that link below. Doesn't it just drive you insane at the fact that your lower back is just always so stiff? So maybe it's after that F45 workout, or maybe you've been sitting down at work for too long and it just doesn't feel nice. So it sort of just feels like this, a brick, yeah, a brick. And you know what, this back pain, this back stiffness, it's actually preventing you from doing things now. So you're probably hesitant to pick up things off the floor, or maybe you're just moving a certain way or avoiding a movement when you play sport, or maybe when you're at the gym, and it's just sort of boxing you out and you're just feeling really tight right now and you can't really move. And you're probably asking yourself, why me? Why is my back so stiff? Why did it come? How did it even get there? It is a really good question, but we'll get into that later. So in this video, I'm gonna show you 3 super easy exercises that you can do almost anywhere, whether you're at home or before F45, or maybe it's just before sport, or even at work. And yes, I said work, so do it in front of your boss, do it in front of your manager, in front of your supervisor. Doesn't matter, ain't no shame in your game. Assert your dominance. But I digress. But ultimately, these exercises are gonna help open up the back, get the mobility you need to actually start strengthening it later. But that is for another video. So what is going on just here? Why is it so stiff? You know what, for this explanation, I think we need a closer look. So, that is your lower back, right? That's pretty cool. Let's get into it. So there's 3 things that you should know when it comes to stiffness. You've got your disc, which is here, here, and here, here, yep. And you've got your vertebra, which is the bony, spiny bit that we see on skeletons. Yeah, you've got that. And you've got your joint that connects each of the vertebrae together. And this is called your facet joint. Now, I won't get into the nitty and gritty of it. I think that's for another video because I know what you want. You want the exercises, which is coming, but just one more thing. Now, around these 3 components, you have some fluid that lubricates this all, and it's called synovial fluid. Obviously, it doesn't look like waves, but what it does is it makes the movement around here just really nice and smooth and not really pinchy or grindy. When it comes to stiffness in your back, these 3 components and these joints, they don't have enough fluid, and it sort of feels like that, you know, that brick that I had before. The cool thing is our joints love to move. So if we move it more, the more fluid that gets inside, the happier our joints can be. Does that make sense? But it's to restore the baseline mobility of what we need to just move. Teaser alert, the next video will be about strengthening the muscles and toughening up the muscles that support our lower back. Alright everybody, this is what you've been waiting for. Let's get into the juicy bit. Cue the exercises. So exercise number 1, cat-cow. For those who are wondering, yes, a cat-cow. What we're gonna do is we wanna get into a bear crawl position, and what that is, it's a 4-point kneeling position. We're gonna find a floor, or if that's a bit too hard, find yourself a bed. Get into this 4-point position. I want you to place your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. From here, we're going to create an arch by bringing our belly button down towards the floor. So once you get into that sticking point where you can't really move anymore, and that's as much of an arch you can create, just go into the opposite direction. We're gonna go up now, okay? So we're gonna get into the cow, or maybe cat position, I don't know. Now, before we continue, if you feel like there's a pinch anywhere, just ease up, don't go as far. You wanna work within your range here, and if this is your range, that's fine. If this is your range, even better. So you wanna do this for about a minute or 2, and just really feeling the back here, and just getting familiar with what it feels like to move, because some of us who have been so stiff in the back has actually forgotten what it feels like to move your back. And exercise number 2, scorpions. But before we get into the scorpions, let me just tell you one thing about the back. So our back can get into extension like this, and also twist side to side. And what this does, if we get into this movement, it's gonna help open everything up. So especially if you're a desk worker, or maybe you've been sitting down a lot, this exercise is gonna feel great for you. So we're gonna use that same floor, I'm gonna use that same mattress, and what I want you to do for the scorpions is you're gonna lay face down, and you're gonna bend one knee up. And you know what, I'll let you choose. So with that knee that you bent, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get to the other side with the knee. So what you get now is that twisting and rotation that I was talking about. So you wanna go as far as you can. And if you find that there's a bit of a catch when you do this, don't go as far, just maybe go halfway or maybe 3/4 of the way. And then what you're gonna do after is you're gonna just swap legs, and you're just gonna rotate side to side, left and right, and it's gonna feel great afterwards. So again, do this for about a minute, add this to the warm up, add this to the stretch routine, and do this in front of your boss. All right, so we're gonna get into exercise number 3, Cobra Child's Pose. So again, for this exercise, we're gonna get into the 4-point kneeling position. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Let's get going. So to start this movement, we're gonna sit onto our heels to begin with from that 4-point position. And we're just gonna cycle in a nice deep breath or two. Just make sure you tuck in your chin as well. Just try and relax here. So what we're doing here is we're actually getting a nice bend in the back. And that's just stretching all the muscles that just sit all behind here and just getting them to loosen up. And now I know some of us may have some disc injuries in the past, and maybe even you do now. But don't worry, this exercise isn't really loading up the tissues too much, so it should be relatively safe. So after a deep breath or two, we're gonna get out of this pose and we're gonna slide our way into a cobra position. Now you have two options here. So the first option is actually just staying on the forearms and just pressing yourself up and down from there. The second option is actually having your hands on the outside of your shoulders and you're gonna press yourself up and you're gonna try and straighten out those arms. And this takes your back to the next level in terms of the stretch, in terms of the mobility, and you get a little bit extra movement this way. So try out both of these, and whichever one that works well for you, just stick with that one. So just like all the other exercises, you wanna spend about a minute or two just really working your way through it. So with all the exercises that I've shown you, you spend about 6 minutes. 6 minutes. That is not much. You can do it. So you have no excuses to live with that stiff back of yours. And if you need a further evaluation, and if your case is a bit more complex than just general stiffness, I always recommend people to see a health professional like an exercise physiologist or a physiotherapist or chiro, whoever. Because what they can do is they can assess you and they can find out what you need and what particular exercises that really suit you. Boom! That is it, everyone. That is how you start your mobility exercises to help open up the back and restore that initial freedom you need to just move. But again, we are just working on the mobility here and not the strength. But don't worry, that will be in the next video. So if you like this content, please give it a thumbs up, and I want you to share this with someone who has some back issues. Whether it's your mum, dad, auntie, uncle, neighbor, teacher, whoever, I want you to share it with them. Please, please, please do. But before I go, my question for you is, where did you do these exercises? The funkiest answer will get a shout out next video. All right, everyone, thank you for making it this far. I really appreciate it. And just one more thing, have a great day.